Get this show on the road this morning. I have the lavalier because I move around a lot when I talk. If it's too loud, Tom can turn it down a little bit. Whew. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Catskills. I'm Kathy Atwell, your worship assistant, worship associate, just a window washer, just about anything that you want me to do this morning, I'm willing to do. We're delighted to have all of you who are attending in person in the sanctuary and virtually via Zoom. A big welcome to everyone wherever you're attending. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious faith that carries no creed and welcomes all seekers. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We're guided by a set of principles and written sources that encompass the many ways we come to know and understand the world, the universe, and the divine. Our principles are important to us at UU Catskills, and we live our values on a daily basis. We affirm that Black Lives Matter. We are a welcoming congregation for the LGBTQ+ community. We are an affiliate of the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, and we are an active voice in the effort to address climate change. We acknowledge that our sanctuary shares the land that is the ancestral home of the Lenni Lenape. If you'd like to contact someone, I lost my place. If you'd like to contact someone at UU Catskills, please visit our website, uucatskills.org, or find and like us on Facebook and Instagram. If you are a visitor, I have some visitors, and would like to be added to our mailing list, you can put your name in the email address in the chat box on Zoom, or talk with any of our members after the service. If you're a first-time visitor and would like to let us know, please raise your hand and welcome. So there are some. We met these lovely folks yesterday down at the African American Festival. And are you new too? Are you going to raise your hand?
Should I stand?
Oh, you can raise your hand. You can stand.
Good to see you stand. I'm Kristen Abbas, husband Jeff Abbas, my partner partner Roe Teldrake, Hawthorne Teldrake, Beckett Teldrake. We've just moved out of the Albany area. We're active members of the Albany in a year. But we just moved down to Carroll Round Top area, so
well, welcome. And should I apologize up front? We do not have a minister currently. And so yeah, we have a lot of lay people, and this is my time. Welcome. Thanks for coming. We encourage you to read our September newsletter that is distributed through our email list and is on our website for information on upcoming events. There are several upcoming events, and if you look on the back of your program, it does mention some. I do have to correct that in that the September 24th, the showing of Barbie at the local theater, that has not come to fruition. That is not at this point going to happen. So don't get your hopes up. I had got my hopes up, but we're still working on it. We're trying to get the theater, and the idea is to watch the movie as a congregation and then come back here and discuss it. The director is a Unitarian Universalist, as an FYI. We also have a restless room across the hall. If any of you find yourself feeling restless, or your children, you're welcome to go over there and you can listen in on the service. I'd like to thank everyone who's assisting with today's service. Our hybrid service, made possible by our technical team, Tom Hackett, is here in the sanctuary and operates the camera and sound. And our Zoom host this week is Jenny Giddy. Hi, Jenny, wherever you are. Last I heard she was in London, so she might be in London. The social hour today is hosted by the Kingston East Community Circle. After the service, for those attending via Zoom, please stay for our breakout rooms for a virtual coffee break. And so we have a couple announcements. Kathy Kastner has an announcement. Come up and do that.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm the coordinator for the Climate Action Team. And I just wanted to let you know that there's a big march in New York City. And we're one of the people trying to mobilize people to go down in the bus that will be stopping in Kingston. And the march is going to be about 1.5 miles long. So if you're not up for that or don't like riding the bus, Karen Miller will be organizing something that day at 2 p.m. in Kingston at the Staples. Karen in the back.
Is that a ride share or a demonstration?
Demonstration.
What day is it? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, September 17th. I was gonna post this in the back, but I see our bulletin board, Sunday. So there's gonna be a worship service down there. Green Faith is organizing and many different other people. And then at the end, a little something afterwards as well. So the march is from going down Broadway and then gonna end up at the United Nations. It's in advance of the summit that's happening there the following week.
Thanks, Kathy. And then Paula's going to talk about. I'll hold it.
Great. Hi, everybody. It is time to step up to the plate, UIDN, Alternative Defense Network. This is the very last Sunday that you can either give me money or maybe you dropped something off. And there were hardly anybody here last week, so I could barely throw these. Here, we've already collected about $150, and we've bought a lot of stuff, but I can't wait to go to Staples and buy out the place. Thank you.
Is it money? That's just money.
It's $1.
Okay. Fine. Okay. All right, so those are the announcements, and then continuing on with the service. Our prelude this morning is a prelude by Alexander Shakriabin, played by Bill Toole. Your daughter's name again? Lisa. We'll light our chalice this morning with our chalice lighting. And Leith, do you wanna come and help us? Can you reach this? Can you reach clear up there? Here, I'll bring it down. Okay, who wants to? We light this chalice, grateful, loving community. In the darkest of times, may it flame like paths, courage, justice, and hope. What? Hey, thank you. Our unison affirmation. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love to all living beings. May we know once again that we are not isolated, but connected in wonder and joy to mystery and miracle in the universe, in this community, and in each other. The opening words this morning are called Small Treasures by Arthworth Dancer, read by Carmen Haas, our former treasurer and our current assistant treasurer. I didn't want to have all the glory of being the treasurer, so I asked the former treasurers.
It's karma.
What did I say? Carmen. Oh, God, so sorry. I know it's karma.
Small treasures can be found everywhere.
It's on.
A book, a movie, a poem, your family waiting for you when you get home. The first snow of winter, the first flower of spring. Small treasures can be found everywhere. In a good friend or a laugh, watching the sunrise or the sunset, the feeling of grass between your toes, or your cat's tail tickling your nose. Small treasures can be found everywhere. The sun shining on a bleak winter day, inviting you to go out and play. Someone helping you up when you fall. For friends are the greatest treasures of all. Small treasures can be found everywhere. A kind word or a smile, visiting relatives you haven't seen in a while, seeing the mountains on a warm spring day while the view takes your breath away. Look for the small things in life, because all too often, those are the things that mean the most, that provide us with hope, remind us to love, and give us faith.
Thanks, Karma. So I should have prefaced the service this morning. I'm the new treasurer, and so my service is about treasures. Being the treasure of treasures. So if you hear a lot of the theme going through about treasures, that's because that's the way it is. So our opening hymn is 288, All Are Architects. So we have a time now that's our not for children only story. And this is called The Greatest Treasure by Shiera Sharma. One day, 2 children found a treasure map. Hooray! We're going to find this treasure and have some adventure, they exclaimed. They set off and walked a long way, finally reaching a forest. There they met the lion. You are strong and courageous. Will you come with us on our treasure hunt? The lion agreed and joined the children through the forest. The forest was dense and dark, and the children were afraid. But with the lion by their side, they made it through. When the three finally reached the mountain, they met Eagle. You have excellent vision and you can alert us to dangers. Will you come with us? We're looking for a treasure, said the children to Eagle. Eagle agreed and joined the children and Lion. The mountains were tall and craggy, and the lion slipped, but one child was swift enough to grab him, give him a hand, and pull him up. Eagle, with his sharp vision, watched every step they took. Soon they reached a valley below where they met sheep. Will you join us in our search for a treasure and keep us warm when it's cold? They asked. Sheep? Sheep agreed and joined the children, Lion and Eagle. A cold wind swept across the endless meadow, and they all huddled around Sheep, who kept them warm and cozy. The five finally reached the desert, where they met Camel. You are called the ship of the desert. Will you help us get across and join the treasure hunt too? The children asked Camel. Camel agreed. The children mounted the camel with Lion and Sheep following along and set off happily across the vast desert with Eagle enjoying the spectacle from above. Camel began galloping and everyone cheered with excitement. Crossing the desert on Camel's back was thrilling. They finally reached the ocean where they met Turtle. Can you help us cross the ocean? We're on a treasure hunt. Turtle agreed and joined the children, Lion, Eagle, Sheep, and Camel. The rough waves almost drowned the party, but Turtle skillfully carried them across. There they met Owl on the other side. Owl spoke from his ancient wisdom. Congratulations, you have found the treasure. Where is it? They all exclaimed in surprise. Together you have passed through the forest, climbed the mountains, dared the valley, braved the desert, and crossed the ocean. You would never have done that without one another, said Owl. They all looked at each other and realized that Owl was right. They had found friendship. Indeed, they had found the greatest treasure ever. I think that's why I wanted to do this service, so I could make these. So now it is our tradition to sing the children out. If they would like to go over to the farmhouse and you want to go? Were you ready? As you leave this friendly place, love gives light to every face. May the kindness which you learn light your hearts till you return. So our offering, we have, as a lot of you know, this year our half plate donation, we take the offering that we get in our basket and we divide it among other organizations in the community. This year we decided to wait all year and then divide them equally rather than by each month. And then, so the organizations for this fiscal year that receive some funds from our generous members are Seeds Home Farm, Center for Creative Education, Hudson River Sloop Clearwater, Kingston Emergency Food Collaborative, A.J. Williams Myers African Root Center, Hudson Valley LGBTQ+ Center, and the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network. And our offertory that Bill is going to play is Sonatin by Jan Durzik. Just mention one quick thing. Did have a booth at the African American Festival yesterday, and you might find an inordinate number of people. Members have little tattoos that we put on ourselves in between talking with other people. So what was this one? So, and do you still have yours? Yeah. So anyway, if you're going, oh, these are weird folks, they have fun. So the Macmillan Dictionary defines treasure as one, to keep or take great care of something because it is very valuable or important to you. And two, to feel happy. For example, because you're doing something that you enjoy. The treasures for you may be items in your home. Some of these treasures may be the family member or close friends that you cherish. There is no doubt that there are material items and people that we associate with that enrich our lives, that we hold as great treasures. However, the treasures I want to focus on this morning are not these things, but the treasures you possess are the talents that you own. Specifically, I'm focusing on the talents that we all use and share with others. Some of these talents may be obvious: leadership ability, creative artistry, or problem-solving savvy. Yet many talents remain hidden from view and hardly identified as precious commodities that they are. This treasure of talent is given to everyone, not only for personal use, but to enrich the lives of others. The special gift of talent is the only unique gift that you can give for the benefit of others. Back in March of this year, our board presented a service where each board member spoke of their reasons for sharing their talent treasures for the benefit of our beloved community. I was moved by their passion and love for the work that they do on behalf of this congregation. After that service, the board officers talked about positions needing to be filled. And they seemed pretty desperate to find someone to become the treasurer. Karma had put in her heart and soul for 4 years and could not re-up. Lois, the assistant treasurer, had put in her time and was ready to step back. I spoke with Reverend Bob, Mark, Karma, and others about the treasurer position. I was not really ready to make the commitment and was not sure if I wanted to step back into the governance of a not-for-profit organization. Some of you know me a little better than others. Some of you know that I'm new to this area, having moved from Indiana at the end of 2020. I am also new to this congregation and unfamiliar with a lot of its members and its history. I do have a not-for-profit background with working with both large and small not-for-profit organizations. But here I am, your treasurer. I have a bachelor's degree in education. However, that just didn't suit me at the time of my graduation. I went back to school in my 30s for a master's degree in the arts, specifically museum work. The first gallery exhibit I worked on as a graduate student was of Egyptian antiquities. Being able to handle these priceless objects with gloves got me hooked on working in the museum field. Over the years, I have had the opportunity to experience wondrous art and artifacts up close. I even worked at the American Numismatic Association Money Museum in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The Money Museum has currency from all over the world and through time. They have large stones called gap stones. They have feathers and shells used as barter, gold coins, silver coins, early paper money, and many other kinds of objects that people use for trade and to acquire wealth. They even have $100,000 paper currency. It's like a regular bill for $100,000. These bills were used to transfer funds between banks before electronic transfers were developed. The arts and cultural museums, both small and great, have vaults full of treasures that I was responsible for during my working career. But that was who I was, but not who I've become out here in the great Hudson River Valley. I tell people I traded up from the Wabash River to the Hudson. This congregation has given me so much in welcoming me. I'm not gonna cry. Discovering new friends who invited me to hike with them and even to travel with them. And because of what you have given me and continue to give me, I realized I wanted to give back, to be a working partner, a committed member to this congregation, and not just an observer. So I willingly put my name in the basket for treasurer of all your treasures, and I was voted in. Now, if I had really known the extent of the job, I may have reconsidered. What Carmen Lois and many more of you out there who have filled this position, the treasurer does not just attend meetings. I thought I was getting a couple keys. And this is what I got from the congregation. We have checking accounts, investment accounts, credit card accounts, PayPal accounts, bills to pay, deposits to make, reports to write, financial decisions, to name a few tasks. I am learning with the assistance of Karma and Lois, but it's a steep learning curve. The thing is, I am happy to do the work, to learn the ropes, to juggle the many keys. And because all of you have given me in this because of all that you have given me in this beloved community. The treasures we cherish here are not the kind of treasures that you can hold in your hand, keep in your storage unit or bank. They're the treasures of this congregation and all the assets we hold dear. The way we come together to welcome and embrace new people and support longtime members and make this a treasured, sacred space. There are many places and rituals that do feel sacred, and many of us seek these out, myself included. But I think it's important to notice that the ritual isn't sacred. It's just opening the doors to the experience. It isn't the only place that is sacred. We are. It isn't only the place that is sacred. Sacred is nothing special. It's just life, revealing its true nature. Life's true nature is wholeness, embracing every living thing, able to contain all unique expressions. In sacred moment, I experience that wholeness. I know I belong here. I don't think about it, I simply feel it. Without any work on my part, my heart opens and my sense of me expands. I am no longer locked inside a small self, removed from my lifelong friends and generations rooted in Indiana. I don't feel alone or isolated anymore. I feel here. I feel welcome. I feel needed. I describe sacred as the feeling that I belong here. In your own experience, how would you describe sacred? If you can recall times that felt sacred to you, was there a sense of feeling connected to something beyond yourself? Did you experience yourself in a different, perhaps larger way? Sometimes we have this feeling when we gaze at a newborn child, or sit by quiet water, or look up to see someone smiling at us, or respond to music or a storm, or anything whose beauty catches us by surprise. How would you describe the feeling of sacred? We can't experience sacred in isolation. It is always an experience of connecting. It doesn't have to be another person. It can be a connection with an idea, a feeling, an object, a tradition. The connection moves us outside ourselves into something greater. Because we move out beyond ourselves, the experience of sacred is often described as spacious, open, and liberating. We learn that we are larger than we thought. We also learn in these moments that life is not to be feared. Sacred experiences always offer gentle reassurance that everything is all right, just as it is. People describe this awareness as surrendering or acceptance or grace. If only for a moment we let down our guard and experience life undefended, defenseless, we feel peace. I hope that you have had this experience many times in your life. I find it important to keep recalling these brief moments of peace. They help me remember that peace is available, no matter what circumstances I'm in. In this turbulent time, we crave connection. We long for peace. We want the means to walk through the chaos intact. We are seeking things that are only available through an experience of sacred. We cannot find connection, community, and peace by withdrawing from others. The peace we seek is found in experiencing ourselves as part of something bigger and wiser than our little crazed self. The community we belong to is all of life. Sacred experiences give us what we need to live in this strange, wondrous times. We need as many sacred moments as we can find. We invite these moments when we open to life and to each other. In these grace-filled moments of greeting, we know we are part of all of this, and that is all right. I think of a gesture as love as anything we can do that helps others discover their humanity. An act where we turn to one another, open our hearts, extend ourselves, listen. Anytime we're patient, curious, quiet, engaged. When we're brave enough to risk becoming engaged, we have a chance to rediscover what it means to be human. By being engaged, we practice good human behavior. We think, we laugh, we cry, we tell stories of our day. We become visible to one another. We gain insight and new understanding. And as we stay in engaged conversation, we may discover that we want to be activists in our world. We get interested in what we can do to change things. We become people who work to support, uphold, and engage in adding their talents for the greater good of the beloved community, the treasurer of us. So, in conclusion, I needed all of you as much as you needed a treasure. So our next hymn is 348, Guide My Feet. And I'm not singing it because this mic's too close to mine. And Lois Slade, our former treasurer, is going to read our closing words, That Which is Worthy of Doing, by Stephen J. Crump.
Just before I do that, I want to mention some of our other former treasurers.
I know there are some out.
The ones that I remember, Linda Mason LeBlanc, Vicki O'Dougherty, Ed Engelhart, Ross Williams, who cajoled me into becoming the treasurer, and of course Karma, who I cajoled into becoming the treasurer. Thank you. And we each have had our challenges and got through them with the congregation. Ooh, Karen Miller says she was once the treasurer. Jane Riley was the pledge treasurer. She was the pledge treasurer. And Bill, who? Betsy Ross. Betsy Toole, sorry. Betsy Ross was, had to do with the flag. And Betty Olson. Anybody else? Anyone can remember treasurers? Judith says she was treasurer before we had to use computers.
I was treasurer also before the computer.
And Joanne Steele. Thank you. That's wonderful. All right. Our closing words, that which is worthy of doing by Steve J. Crump. That which is worthy of doing, create with your hands. That which is worthy of repeating, speak with a clear voice. That which is worthy of remembering, hold in your hearts. And that which is worthy of living, go and live it now.
I will extinguish the chalice as we say our closing words. Extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Thank you all for coming. We have coffee and snacks and treats and